Well, as temperatures drop and people rely more on heaters, fireplaces, and generators to stay warm, experts are warning about the silent and potentially deadly threat, carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, it's a colorless, odorless, and often goes unnoticed until it's too late. And joining me now is Dr. Jill Michaels, Managing Director of the South Carolina Poison Center, to explain why the risk increases during extreme cold and how families can protect themselves. First off, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, appreciate it being here.
Absolutely. So we want to talk about carbon monoxide poisoning. First off, for folks at home who may not know, what exactly is it?
Sure, it comes from burning fuel, and that can be kerosene, gasoline, propane, the logs in your fireplace. All those things burn fuel, and carbon monoxide can be produced.
And because this is called the silent killer, meaning like it just kind of sneaks up on you, you don't smell it,
Right.
nothing. What are some of the symptoms people can look out for to know that they may be in contact with it?
Sure, so you're not getting oxygen to your brain, so people get a little dizzy, a little drowsy. It can almost be like flu-like symptoms. They can even have some minor stomach upset as well. They just feel disoriented and not themselves.
Absolutely, and we always talk about having that carbon monoxide alert system in your house, a detector. So if a family, if they are inside their home and they hear this detector going off, what should they do?
Sure, immediately leave the house, especially if someone is having symptoms, go ahead and call 911. You can also call the Poison Center, 1-800-222-1222, but leave the house, call and get someone to, if you've got gas appliances, have them checked out to see if that is the issue. If you're somehow burning fuel that you shouldn't be in the house, like a gas stove, a camp stove, you need to remove that immediately from the home as well.
Absolutely. And these carbon monoxide detectors, I know you can place them all throughout the house. They're not necessarily like fire detectors where they're like in the ceiling sometimes. Where should folks place those detectors?
On every level of their house, and also preferably near where a bedroom where someone's going to be sleeping.
And how often should they be replaced?
So they have actually like an expiration date, usually 7 to 10 years. They'll start beeping to let you know they need to be replaced. But just like your fire alarm, you should check it every 6 months to make sure it's operating properly.
Absolutely. And we see people use their generators, their grills, indoor grills, and things like that incorrectly. What's one of the most common mistakes that you see people do when using those appliances?
Yeah, so they think, they're lost their power, and I understand they need a heat source, but never put those heat sources in your home. If you have a generator, it needs to be 20 feet away from your house or where you're staying, because those gas fumes can get into the house and produce carbon monoxide. Same thing with having any type of grill, even in your garage, even with the garage door open, it's an enclosed space and carbon monoxide can still linger in that area.
Gotcha. So who's most vulnerable for carbon monoxide poisoning as it relates to children, older adults, and if they are, why are they so vulnerable?
Certainly the elderly and children. Children have a faster breathing rate, so they're going to get more exposed. And elderly may have some other conditions, the medical conditions that can predispose them to having more symptoms and issues with the carbon monoxide exposure.
And so if someone thinks, they have come in contact with carbon monoxide, when should they call, or at what time should they call poison control versus 911?
If someone has passed out, they're unresponsive, certainly call 911 right away. If they're not making sense, call 911. If someone says, hey, I think I've been exposed, the alarm went off, I'm not sure, open up the windows, open up the doors, go outside, give us a call, and we can talk about it. Because some people think they've been exposed, they may not, and we can kind of run through the scenario of things that cause poisonings. And also, if you smell gas, that is a gas leak. But gas can also, again, take oxygen away from the brain and cause dizziness as well.
And that was going to be my next question as it relates to carbon monoxide versus gas. I know people will smell gas and immediately think, oh my gosh, I need to get out of here. And that may be the case.
Sure.
But how could they know the difference between the two?
Yeah, so gas has that kind of, the sulfur smell to it. Methane and propane, they add that to the line so you know there's a gas leak. So you're going to smell that kind of rotten egg odor. But still, again, leave the house, open up the windows, give us a call. But still, if someone is passed out, go ahead and call 911.
And also an important thing I want you to, I know you spoke about it one time before, but I want to reiterate it, the symptoms of, when you come in contact with carbon monoxide.
Yeah, dizziness, headache, nausea, even some vomiting, disorientation. Some people may have some chest pain as well. And if you leave the area and your symptoms improve because you're getting oxygen, then that's also, hey, You think you're having it at your house, you go to work in the morning, you feel better, you come back to the house, you feel worse, then we know there might be an exposure there going on.
And we talk about carbon monoxide being deadly. How deadly is it? Or do we see folks maybe pass out and they go to the hospital? Is it completely over for them? Can you recover? How is that?
Yeah, so certainly has it caused deaths? Yes, it can, because you're not getting oxygen to your brain, your heart, and other organs in your body, and it can cause seizures and all these things. But if you go to the hospital, there are things oxygen and other treatments we can give you. But again, we don't want it to get that far. Always have those carbon monoxide detectors in your house. Make sure they're working. Make sure you're properly getting if you have gas appliances, they're getting checked every year as well by a technician.
And are there any other poisonous conditions or issues that you can kind of see being an issue as we head into this winter mix this weekend?
Siphoning gasoline, because people are going to be using their generators and such. So ingesting gasoline can be a problem as well. It can get into your lungs and cause breathing problems. People who are I always say people get poisoned because you're not in your normal routine, and people won't be in their normal routine. They may be at grandma's because they got displaced from their home for having no power. Grandma's house is not childproof, and the child gets
Right.
into something. So we get all kinds of calls over this. It can be a medication error. It can be a child ingesting whatever is left out in the house. But it's storm related because people are not in their normal routine. And so we're here 24/7 if they need us.
Absolutely. And if folks do need you, how can they get in contact with you guys?
Yeah, we're open 24/7. The phones are answered by trained nurses and pharmacists in toxicology, and our number is 1-800-222-1222 for the entire state of South Carolina.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Dr. Marcus. We really appreciate it. And if you guys want a full interview, we're going to place this on our website at WLTX.com. We'll be right back after this break.